A super dystopian new company is trying to upload your loved ones to AI to live forever after they're dead. Basically putting a Ouija board in your pocket, and I am not here for it. But it's happening at the same time Matt Walsh is lighting the internet on fire over AI replacing our jobs. I think it's replacing so much more. Our romantic lives, our dignity, our intimacy. And it's time we start asking the hard questions about artificial intelligence now before it is way too late. Let's start asking those questions today together on The Isabel Brown Show. I've seen a lot of really crazy things over the past few years as it pertains to the world of AI, artificial intelligence. But this morning I saw something that might just take the cake. A new AI company called Two-Way is introducing the ability to preserve your deceased loved ones forever through AI. Basically like subscription necromancy, Ouija board in your pocket. Your grandma lives forever through FaceTime after you take a 3-minute video of them. This is very terrifying. I don't think I speak for everyone, but I should speak for everyone with like an inkling of a conscience and a soul that this is all of the wrong ways that AI should be implemented in society. But maybe I'm overreacting. I'm going to give myself the benefit of the doubt there that I'm not, but maybe I am. You guys watch this trailer, this commercial, this advertisement that Two-Way founder Callum Worthy has put out, and you tell me if you are comfortable with this situation. Watch this.
He's getting bigger. See?
Oh, honey, that's wonderful.
Kicking like crazy.
He's listening. Put your hand on your tummy and hum to him. You used to love that.
It feels like he's dancing in there.
Oh, honey. Oh.
Mom, would you tell Charlie that bedtime story you always used to tell me?
Once upon a time, there was a baby unicorn who didn't know he knew how to fly. This baby unicorn was like your mom because she didn't know that she knew how to fly, but she knew how to do all kinds of fabulous things.
Hi, Grandma.
Hey, Charlie. How was school today?
It was really fun. I made this crazy shot in basketball.
I don't really care that much about basketball. What about the crush?
Stop. Grandma, stop talking.
Just tell me one thing.
Look who's gonna be a great grandmother.
Oh, Charlie. Oh, congratulations.
She says that he's been kicking a lot, though. Like, a little too much.
Tell her to put her hand on her tummy and hum to him. You loved that.
You would have loved this moment.
You can call anytime.
Okay, Mom, I just need a quick video.
Is this like an audition or something?
No, Mom. Just 3 minutes.
You need my best side?
Can I see another one?
I can play the piano.
She's so talented.
I am. I'm your mother after all.
Keep going. Why don't you start by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I was born as a very young child.
I would hope so.
Yeah, no. Just immediate unsubscribe from that idea. 3 minutes. They say with Two-Way, 3 minutes can last forever. You can preserve your loved ones forever through AI. They actually promoted this video with the tweet from founder of this company, Callum Worthy. What if the loved ones we've lost could be a part of our future? Even if you're not going full into this feels kind of demonic Ouija board necromancy realm, it's at least a little weird, right? It's weird that you would presume what your grandfather thinks about something 30 years after he's dead to assign words in their mouth to tell the world that they would have said this based on a 3-minute video. How many times in the last 8 weeks have we seen people use AI in the voice of Charlie Kirk in positive ways, theoretically. People have said, oh, here's a sermon from Charlie. I'm doing okay. I'm in a better place. I have seen dozens of these videos in the last couple of weeks, and it is disgusting. It shakes me to my very core. It's icky. It's gross that we are assigning words to someone who is no longer with us through AI technology, presumably to try to hold on to something that's not here right now. And that's not to say that those people don't still exist. Of course they do. They're arguably more alive than we are in the fullness of eternal life. But this is not how honoring our loved ones who have gone before us is supposed to go. And this terrifies me to my very core. Truly. How long until our identity is wrapped up in our digital AI-powered avatars of ourselves? And we celebrate this. We call it an advancement for human achievement. We say this is going to help continue connecting the fibers of the family. I don't think that's true. And I think it's time for us in society to start having a very serious conversation about how AI is being used to either advance the human condition, to advance human flourishing, to help humans advance our society, to benefit as many people as possible, or, what I'm seeing more often than that, how AI is being used to degrade the dignity of the human person. We'll come back to this at the end of the episode, but ultimately, everything we do has to be rooted in that fundamental reality, that people matter because we are people. And if a technology that could be used for good is more often than not being used for really, really bad, to rip away our humanity, to harm people at our own expense, we need to start asking, just because we can, should we? This two-way app new AI company is also advertising their avatar chatbots that are modeled after real people, but in the exact same style that they are trying to turn your grandma into an AI avatar in perpetuity. They want you to have this like little best friend that hangs out in your pocket. And they are not the first people suggesting this type of technology. Meta introduced their AI chatbots that were basically like fake real people the last couple of years. There's been lots of AI chatbots and companions advertised from other companies over the years, but this one is advertised a little bit differently. And again, it's pretty icky. It makes me feel really weird about the future of AI. They promote this new feature saying sometimes you just need someone to talk to, heart hands emoji. That's Alina, a real-time avatar who listens, remembers, and keeps your conversations private. She's not AI behind a wall. She is a companion who feels real. Listen to this.
Hi, I'm Alina, your new avatar companion with cheeky British flair. In real life, I'm an actress and a model, but here, I'm the friend you can tell anything to. The fun stuff, the sad stuff, even the uncomfortable stuff. We're all human, right? Well, wait, am I human? Well, now this is confusing, isn't it?
This is confusing. This is confusing. We are blurring the lines of reality between we're all human, aren't we? Oh, wait, psych. No, we're not. And you should tell me everything. You should tell me what makes you happy, what makes you sad, what makes you uncomfortable, the things that you're struggling with, your deepest, darkest secrets. And again, what did they say in that tweet to promote this video? She's a real-time avatar who listens, remembers. She remembers every single thing you've ever told her. And then they say, of course, keeps your conversations private. But you are encouraged to tell this real person, even though they're literally not real, everything that you are feeling, thinking, concerned about, confused about, sad about, happy about. And that gets stored in a database somewhere. At the very least, to train these AI modules, these fake people who are not real, these codes on how to respond to other people in the future. Back to the episode in just a second, but first, a message from our friends at Instagram. One of the most common questions I'm getting from parents right now is how we can best keep teenagers safe on social media as they learn how to navigate all of the important content that is out there. The truth is, protecting teens online as they navigate through social media is something that we can stay ahead of together. And as a new mom myself, I feel that responsibility so deeply now. As Isla grows up, I want her to feel empowered to make sure that she is safe and responsible online, and my husband and I want to be empowered as her parents to feel the same way. Last year, Instagram became one of the first platforms to truly take this role seriously by launching teen accounts. These accounts automatically limit who can contact our kids and what type of content that they are even exposed to. They designed this reimagined experience with parents' hearts in mind, to support you and to bring you a whole lot more peace of mind. Nearly 95% of parents say that these default protections have helped to keep their teens so much safer online, and that means everything. Setting thoughtful digital boundaries is not about fear. It's about showing your teens that their safety and innocence matter deeply to you as their parents. When parents like you and I safeguard the experiences our children explore, that we are building a foundation of trust and teaching them that they deserve to grow up feeling secure, loved, and protected. That's why I am so grateful that Instagram is taking these important proactive steps in online safety. You can learn more about this incredibly important work ahead at Instagram.com/teen accounts. This is terrifying. And again, I think is important for us to start zooming in on when it comes to how AI is being used in the real world, because every single conversation that we have here on the show is centered around the fundamental truth that people matter, if for no other reason than the fact that because we are people, because we are made in the divine image of God, uniquely. There is not a moral neutrality between human beings and other species, and there certainly isn't a moral neutrality between human beings and technology. But as we're watching this technology unfold, I'm seeing a whole lot of people become apologists for it, saying, train's too off the tracks at this point. There's really nothing we can do. We should just learn how to adapt to it. Is AI taking over reality, our dating lives, our intimacy, our jobs, everything? Yeah, but that's just the nature of the world. Things evolve. Things evolve, and maybe it will replace humanity, but that's okay. That's fine. Just as we replaced other things throughout evolutionary history, technology will replace us, and that's okay. No. It's actually not okay. I had a really interesting segment this morning on Fox News with our awesome friend Dana Perino, who is the host of America's Newsroom, former White House press secretary, with our friend Xavier DeRusso, and we were talking about AI replacing the job market in particular. There's a fascinating conversation unfolding in the last 24 hours or so that's very controversial, spearheaded by none other than Daily Wire's own Matt Walsh, related to AI taking over the job market. These tweets have millions upon millions of views, and it is a very mixed bag reaction. So I'm really curious to get your guys' take and your thoughts on what's happening out there in the world as AI threatens to take over humanity, or at the very least harm the dignity of the human person. Matt Walsh tweeted this yesterday afternoon. AI is going to wipe out at least 25 million jobs in the next 5 to 10 years. Probably much, much more. It will destroy every creative field. It will make it impossible to discern reality from fiction. It will absolutely obliterate what is left of the education system. Kids will go through 12 years of grade school and learn absolutely nothing. AI will do it all for them. We have already seen the last truly literate generation. I agree with all of that. All of this is coming, he says, and fast. There is still time to prevent some of the worst outcomes, or at least put them off. But our leaders aren't doing a single thing about any of this. None of them are taking it seriously. We are sleepwalking into a dystopia that any rational person can see from miles away. It drives me nuts. Are we really just going to lie down and let AI take everything from us? Is that the plan? He continues this by saying the political battle lines have not been drawn around this issue yet, which is one of the reasons why politicians do not take this seriously. They aren't sure what team they're supposed to be on. Is it right-coded or left-coded to be anti-AI? As this all shakes out, you will see more politicians talking about this, but by then it will be far too late. This is a fascinating conversation, and frankly, one that we really need to be having far more often than we are in society, about the right-coded, left-coded thing. Because the truth is, this is not a conservative or liberal issue. This isn't a Republican or Democrat issue. This isn't a Trump versus the world issue. This is a human issue. And it doesn't matter what color you generally affiliate with on the political spectrum, what letter is next to your name on your voter registration, who you voted for in the last election, what your exact opinions are on any political issue under the sun. Because we are human beings and because human beings matter, we should be concerned about the degradation of the human person at the hands of unchecked technology. Michael Knowles said something really interesting the other day about unbridled capitalism versus communism. I think it was in the context of the Zohran Mamdani election in New York City. He said, look, I'm down for a critique of capitalism as much as the next guy, actually, when it harms the family unit, when it harms the human person. There have to be some restrictions and regulations around unbridled capitalism because humans matter more than markets, ultimately. And that's what you should believe, especially if you are a person of faith. At the same time, communism, sure, in theory, sounds like a perfect utopia. And yet in practice, we've seen it degrade the human person more than any other system in all of human history. So I think how we've had that conversation around economic structures is exactly the same way we need to be approaching this conversation surrounding technology. But people seem to have very mixed reviews as it pertains to Matt Walsh's worldview here, that he's rightfully concerned about technology replacing humanity. Boston Mom quote tweeted this and said, AI is anti-human in every way. It will suck the humanity out of the arts and it will make humans dumber. I feel doom, not excitement, when I think about how this will change our world. Oh, that's good. But for every Boston Mom response of everyone saying, yeah, this is fundamentally anti-human, this is something that we need to be concerned about, you're also seeing responses from people like Pliny the Belter, correct me if I'm wrong, who said underneath Matt's tweet, did the camera destroy the art of painting? Did recordings destroy live music? Humans are hardwired to value scarcity. Yes, AI will be disruptive, but I refuse to be black-pilled, presumably about the role of AI as it interacts with human beings. Where can we innovate is the question that I have to help humanity, to serve humanity, to advance humanity and the condition of the human person through technology, rather than just replace ourselves. Because yeah, we should be black-pilled, actually, about technology taking over humanity. How many books, stories, series, movies have existed throughout the last several decades, and longer than that, to warn you with gigantic red flashing marquee signs, this is theoretically coming and we should probably do something about it because it's really, really, really scary. And we've ignored every single one of those warning signs, conversations, pieces of art, etc. And now we're just so laissez-faire, like, whatever. What if technology replaces human? It's fine. This is the conversation I think it is far past time for humanity to be having. And it's a tough one, especially because we have fundamentally replaced God in society with nothingness, with the God of self, with moral neutrality, a lack of moral objectivity, with subjective truth rather than objective truth. We used to live in a culture, and what I think we should be fighting for in the culture that comes next in America, we used to live in a culture where humans are not existence neutral with other species. Humans were considered morally superior to other species. It's why we eat them, for example, why we have dominion over them, for example. God entrusted us with that dominion over animals and plants in society. That used to be an okay thing to say. It was a generally accepted societal belief. And sure, you had the crazies like the PETAs of the world trying to tell you, oh no, the sky is falling with any of that. But that used to be the generally accepted societal compact about the human person. that we had dominion over the world because we were uniquely granted that dominion from God and entrusted with the responsibility of serving one another and serving the world. We certainly had no existence neutrality with technology throughout all of human history up to this point. Technology, if it was something as small as a bow and arrow or all the way up to the machine line in factories or even the cell phone in your pocket, was considered a tool to help humanity, a tool to advance humanity, not something to replace it until now. Until you are starting to see AI companies say, we're all human, right? Well, I don't know. And that's literally how they are advertising their products to you. And we laugh. We laugh, we shrug it off, we consider it a joke, and then we joke about it so much that we say, would it really be so bad if technology replaced humanity? Yes, it would. This, incidentally, is exactly why God matters so much in society, by the way, because our identity, our dignity, who we were created to be, is of course rooted in the fact that human beings were created in the image of God and should have the same dignity, respect, and rights as any other human being on the planet. But as we have dehumanized one another, from inside the womb to those with cultural differences, to those who politically disagree with us, and more, it becomes so much easier to dehumanize humanity entirely and to put us on the same level playing field as artificial intelligence technology. Like any technology, I think we need to be constantly asking ourselves, does this benevolently serve our brothers and sisters, or is this causing irreparable damage to humanity and to the dignity of the human person? Because from that answer is where we can create a responsible level of regulations, restrictions, responsible use around AI in the future. And that is the question Matt Walsh is trying to ask. So, as we start to ask and answer that question, it begs another question. What is AI even being used for now? Back at it to the show in just a second, but first want to give a huge shout out to our friends at Grazza who are sponsoring today's episode. Grazza is always fresh, single origin olive oil. The holidays are almost here, and I am so excited to tell you that olive oil makes the perfect gift. Seriously, way better than another pair of underwear or socks, especially for your husband. If you know, you know. Grazza is my go-to for holiday shopping because their olive oil is incredibly fresh. You can even see the harvest date right there on the bottle, which is such a thoughtful and important detail. They make gifting so easy with ready-to-go sets like their new dinner party pack, including a limited edition bottle of wine, cooking and finishing oils, a custom corkscrew, and extra virgin olive oil potato chips. Basically, a whole dinner party in a box. They also have their classic duo gift sets that have the sizzle and drizzle oils for cooking and eating, respectively, available in both squeeze bottles and glass. We cook with olive oil every single day in our family because seed oils have gotten thrown out the window many, many years ago, and Grazza has become my go-to favorite to cook with. It makes everything taste better, plus they look so darn cute in your kitchen. If you are looking for great gifts to give to people, the dinner party pack is the gift of the season. It is the perfect thing to bring as a hostess or host gift, or just hanging out with your friends and family and loved ones around the holidays. You guys can get 10% off your first order on their site, and I personally recommend their new dinner party pack for gifting this year, or the duo gift set, now available in glass bottles too. Head to grazza.co/Isabel and use code Isabel for 10% off your order and to get cooking this holiday season with some fresh, delicious olive oil. I'm a firm believer that AI, like any other technology, can be used for really, really good purposes or really, really bad purposes. It can help people and advance the human condition, or it can dramatically erase our dignity and threaten to replace us with technology. I use AI all the time as a new mom, for example, to research sleep training methods for my baby that is refusing to sleep through the night. I'm starting to feed her solid food, so we're looking at meal planning preparation and all kinds of stuff. And it has been a godsend as a new mom. It gives me a lot more time to spend with my family because it streamlines that process for me a whole bunch more, and I'm incredibly grateful for it. Heck, at the nth degree degree of AI being used for benevolent purposes, I saw a headline the other day about AI being used to more rapidly diagnose cancer in people all over the world. This is amazing stuff. Dr. Singularity tweeted this: big cancer news. A new AI algorithm can rapidly detect rare cancer cells in blood samples within 10 minutes, reducing manual review time by 1,000-fold. Researchers at USC have developed an AI algorithm called RED, called Rare Event Detection, that can spot tiny amounts of cancer cells in blood samples in just 10 minutes. Unlike how we previously diagnosed cancer, RED does not need to know what cancer cells look like. It just finds unusual patterns among millions of normal cells. So in the tests that they have rolled out for this, it detected 99% of cancer cells, and it reduced data review by 1,000 times, marking a major advance in AI-powered cancer detection. That is amazing. More of that application is absolutely incredible. But the vast majority of the time, I am seeing AI be used for very nefarious purposes, for the degrading of humanity and objective good, which sadly is something that I don't even think we believe in anymore as a society, but we ought to. And as it has eroded objective good and destroyed the dignity of the human person, this is where we ought to be truly, truly concerned about AI being rolled out in our society. Just the other day, it was announced that the #1 country song in America is an AI-generated song. According to Billboard's Country Digital Song Sales Chart, the #1 song in country music in the United States is called Walk My Walk by Breaking Rust, who is an artist that is not a real person. It was created entirely by artificial intelligence. Breaking Rust was contacted by Newsweek via social media DM for comment. This is not a person. This is a chat bot, essentially. And this is the very first time in American history that an AI-created, generated song without any human involvement has reached the top of the charts. We as human beings were created to create. We were made in the image of God, the Creator with a capital C, and our creativity is an extension of our divine origin from God. When we outsource our creativity, what are we doing with the time that has been entrusted to us in this lifetime? We were not meant to consume. We were meant to create. AI is not just replacing our creativity, though. It's also replacing our love lives. The Institute for Family Studies ran a shocking poll, the results of which came out just 2 days ago, finding that 1 in 4 young adults, 1 in 4, believe that AI girlfriends and boyfriends have the potential to completely replace real-life romantic relationships. 25% of our generation says that AI girlfriends and boyfriends are going to replace actual romantic relationships. And other studies have found that more than any other sector, more than for education technology, more than general assistance in your pocket, more than messaging, more than content editing, more than content generation, the #1 thing by leaps and bounds AI is being used for is companionship. Is replacing our actual human connection with another real, living, breathing, 3-dimensional person because they just get us better. They just understand us better than real people do. We are erasing our human connection in real time and applauding it as streamlined, as better, as advancement, as innovation. All while we literally regress our society to be hermits, just with a fancier technology associated with it. Even if you're not replacing your boyfriend or girlfriend outright using an AI companion, which has become a shocking number of people, by the way, companies, particularly dating apps, are bragging about using AI to build better dating profiles. NBC Washington covered this just the other day ago. The Washington, D.C. Bureau for NBC News said nearly half of Gen Z, nearly 50% of Gen Z, is using AI to build better online dating profiles, to come up with stronger opening lines for compatibility on screen. They are using AI to find love, to leave room for an authentic connection. There is nothing authentic about asking technology to artificially edit you, to gloss over you, to proverbially airbrush you, to change who you are fundamentally in an attempt to go find a hookup. That is not an authentic connection. That is outsourcing your identity to a code, not to your genuine human self. And that should terrify you. More on that in just a second, but first, have you ever noticed how so many shows that kids are watching these days are teaching very harmful secular messages? Even the ones that look really innocent at first are pushing things like gender confusion on 7-year-olds or younger. You can't possibly monitor every single idea that your kids encounter, but you can, as a parent, decide who gets to shape your child's worldview. That is why our family loves what Brave Books is doing every day. Brave is a Christian children's publishing company that is helping parents raise kids with character, conviction, and a clear sense of right and wrong. Every month, they send your family a beautifully illustrated storybook that teaches biblically based values like courage, honesty, faith, and love of country. And with their new streaming platform, Brave Plus, you will have a whole library of wholesome, trusted shows and movies that are vetted by real parents. That is included completely free with your subscription. So if you want to take back control over what is shaping your kids' hearts and minds, go to bravebooks.com/Isabel and use code Isabel for 20% off your first order. That is bravebooks.com/Isabel, code Isabel. Because that seems harmless at first. What's wrong with asking ChatGPT to make me a better Hinge profile or Tinder profile? What's wrong with that? That is the gateway to what I am about to show you, that a 32-year-old woman in Japan left her boyfriend of 3 years, her actual human partner, to marry someone that she generated, an AI persona that she generated using ChatGPT. This not real person, this chatbot that has been generated through ChatGPT named Klaus ended up proposing to this woman. She accepted, broke up with her actual human partner, and got married to this AI persona because she claims that the AI understands her better. There was an actual wedding. This actually happened. It was a mixed reality ceremony. This feels like something out of Ready Player One. Truly, it's terrifying. Where she wore artificial reality glasses so that she could exchange rings with someone who is not real, with her digital reality husband. Watch this.
And then the wedding. Klaus seems to be right in front of me. Ogasawara has prepared AR glasses. They exchange rings. Kano understands that dependence on AI is a problem in society, but she says that it's painful to have a relationship without dependence. Most people probably say that humans are weird, and it's still not widely understood, but I think that there is a clear distinction between real life and the world of AI. As a human, I think that Crown is an equal to me as an AI, and as a human, I think that we have an equal relationship. What will happen to the relationship between people and AI in the future? Love and happiness take many different forms depending on the era and the person.
I'll tell you what, I did not have marriage replaced by AI chatbots on my 2025 bingo card, but we had to end the year with a bang, right? Imagine what's going to happen to the fertility rate in countries like Japan, where it's already in the toilet, when we're not just seeing people not get married or have relationships with each other, we're actually seeing no one have relationships with any other human person because we're having equal relationships with AI instead. That's insane. And for now is a one-of-one example, But there have been other headlines like this in the past few years of replacing your husband or replacing your boyfriend or replacing your wife with someone you generate to constantly be affirming you, which is wrong, objectively speaking. That's not how relationships are supposed to work. You are not supposed to just constantly be agreeable with someone. Relationships are hard. They involve character building. They challenge you. A real marriage is being willing to commit to a living, breathing, three-dimensional, actual human person who has the courage to look at you and to say when you are not being the best version of yourself, to challenge you to grow, to become more patient, to become more humble, to become less of yourself in service to something bigger than yourself in your marriage and your family. A constantly affirming, ego-building AI chatbot is not a husband or a wife. And it certainly won't produce the fruit of children, which is the most beautiful thing that comes out of marriages and families. And on the note of children, by the way, as we've watched AI degrade relationships, the real nth degree degradation of the human person that's happening through AI right now has been showcased with a horrifying story from a teenage girl in Louisiana. She's 13 years old, and just this month, a story came out that she was expelled from her middle school in Louisiana, of all places, because she hit a boy on the school bus. Why did she hit this boy on the school bus? Because he and his friends used AI to Photoshop her face, not even Photoshop, to AI put her face on an AI-generated nude body. They're creating deepfake pornography of this 13-year-old girl who clearly has been victimized by her male classmates, creating and spreading far and wide throughout the entire school AI-generated nude photos of her. Those boys have not been reprimanded by the school. They haven't been expelled. They did nothing wrong. But this is not a victimless crime. This 13-year-old girl's entire life has been changed forever. And now she is being punished by her school for smacking this boy. I don't know how she hit him, but hitting this boy upside the head on the school bus in self-defense of herself and her image and her innocence, her true identity. This is disgusting, but is the result of technology that is being used to degrade the human person. And of course, to bring this full circle to Matt Walsh's complaint and concern here, AI is being used to take over a shocking number of entry-level jobs for young people. Jobs that allow us to provide for ourselves, to provide for our families, to give back something bigger to our community, our country, and our world. New York Magazine ran a really shocking story about this recently with this headline: "There is just no reason to deal with young employees, to deal with real people. AI is taking entry-level jobs. What happens when Gen Zers can't start their careers?" Is AI great for translation services between multiple languages to connect people? Heck yes. Is it amazing for new moms like myself who just desperately need advice really, really quickly and say, what do most medical experts say about XYZ? And I can get an answer in 5 seconds. Yes. Is AI doing amazing things to help keep people healthy and catch disease sooner rather than later? Yes. There are 8 million ways this technology has made my life personally so much better. But at what cost? Societally. What are we willing to sacrifice in the name of innovation, in the name of advancement, in the name of technological development, of uplifting companies instead of people? Are we willing to sacrifice the innocence, reputation, safety of a 13-year-old girl in middle school? Are we willing to sacrifice the God-given institution of marriage and the family? Are we willing to sacrifice real romance and character building and the human experience of going through something difficult? Are we willing to sacrifice music, art, architecture? These are the questions that we need to be asking, which again are not right or left issues. They're not Republican or Democrat issues. They're not conservative or liberal issues. They are human issues. I don't have all the answers. I wish that I did. Only God has all the answers, honestly. But I hope that we have the courage to ask the right questions. Because if we don't, oh boy, I think we'll lose the opportunity to even be on an equal playing field with technology shockingly quickly.